Hello and welcome to the first in a series of 4 screencasts on preventing food waste in the hospitality and food service sector. I'm Carl Nichols, Head of Business and Markets at WRAP, and I'll be introducing WRAP and its role in supporting you in preventing food waste. This series of screencasts will help you to gain an overview of the hospitality and food service sector and the size of the food waste issue. Identify where food waste prevention opportunities arise within business operations, broaden your understanding of the actions that businesses can take to prevent food waste and how this can save money and improve profits. And finally, understand WRAP's business support tools and sources of guidance and know where to find them. In this first screencast, I'll look at why wasting food matters, the value of food, how much food is wasted, why prevention is key to making cost savings, and how you can help businesses to make changes and save money in the process. I'll also provide an overview of some key sources of business support, including WRAP's Hospitality and Food Service Agreement. This introductory screencast will last about 15 minutes. First of all, I'll give you some information on WRAP and what we do. WRAP are recognised nationally and internationally as experts in the sustainable use of resources. We're funded by all 4 UK governments, as well as international organisations such as the EU and the UN. We undertake research to provide evidence on the case for making change. We provide practical advice, tools and guidance to support businesses in making the necessary changes. We work with a wide range of partners such as trade bodies, businesses, individuals and local authorities. We are also working more closely with people with key roles in the industry, such as yourselves as environmental health practitioners. So, essentially, our expertise is in helping others take the journey from awareness to action. We identify where there is a market failure in the sustainable use of resources, such as food, bring people together to look at what options are to solve it, and then work with others to stimulate change. This is what we are doing with food waste reduction. We've gathered evidence from across the UK's hospitality and food service sector. We've quantified the amount of food waste in the sector and at what stages of the supply chain it is produced. We're working in partnership with key stakeholders such as government, business and trade associations and the Chartered Institute of Environmental Health, and we've developed a range of guidance tools to help businesses reduce and manage their waste. We recognise how important your role is in this process, and these screencasts are to help you promote the benefits of preventing food waste when you talk to businesses, share the experience of other companies that have taken action, and become advocates of best practice. During these screencasts, we'll provide the necessary information to enable you to offer businesses practical ways to prevent food waste. We believe this approach will enhance and add value to your regulatory role, as does the Chartered Institute of Environmental Health. 10 environmental health practitioners in Great Yarmouth are already putting this into practice since attending WRAP's workshops in October 2012. Their positive reactions led to a further 50 EHPs attending half-day food waste prevention CPD sessions in September 2013. Another 75 found out about some of the highlights at a CPD day in Sussex in November 2013. And feedback received to date indicates that businesses appreciate practitioners talking about how they can help and support them rather than just enforcing regulations. This approach has now become a natural part of the day-to-day activities for many environmental health practitioners. These practitioners are reinforcing basic good practice, including proper storage, stock rotation and better stock awareness. They are also able to show how businesses can better assess wastage by measuring what is thrown out, more efficient menu designs and offering customers a choice of different portion sizes. WRAP's experience already shows that you are in an ideal position to advise businesses on simple strategies to cut waste and signpost them towards relevant advice and tools. And the waste prevention messages complement and reinforce your core focus on food safety standards. Let's now take a look at the size of the food waste issue in this sector. In 2013, we published industry-leading research findings that identifies the true cost of food waste at £2.5 billion per year. It provided an insight into the cost of food waste across different subsectors and operational environments in the UK hospitality and food service industry. It demonstrated how this true cost is set to rise over the next 3 years. It also provides the business case for organisations to reduce the amount of waste they produce and realise cost savings. So what have we found? Each year, this sector serves more than 8 billion meals and produces more than 2.87 million tonnes of food and associated packaging waste. Nearly 1 million tonnes of this is food waste, of which 3/4 could have been eaten. This is equivalent to throwing away 1 in every 6 meals served. And 46% of this waste is recycled, either sent for anaerobic digestion or composted. The rest is sent to landfill. That's 54%. There is a clear need to reduce the amount of food that could have been eaten but which currently goes to landfill. This can largely be done by preventing the waste being generated in the first place and by recycling more. By weight, 17.8% of the total food purchased by hospitality and food service operators is wasted. Of this, 13.2% is avoidable and 4.6% is unavoidable. So what does this mean in costs? Based on the data collected by WRAP, the cost of the food being wasted in the UK from this sector is estimated at £2.5 billion each year, and this is set to rise to £3 billion by the year 2016. In an industry that has around 260,000 UK outlets, this equates to £10,000 for each outlet each year. That's money that businesses on tight margins could do without throwing away. WRAP's research takes into consideration the costs associated with the whole of the sector's supply chain, such as food purchase, waste management, energy and water use, labour, administration and transport. So the businesses has bought the food, it's stored it, it's paid people to move it around and so on. But more of the hidden costs are not readily taken into account when a business thinks about the true value of the food it buys. Controlling these operating costs by avoiding waste will contribute to the economic success of a business. The key to realising these cost savings is for businesses to apply the waste hierarchy. We will look at this in a little more detail in Screencast 3. Essentially, businesses should apply the waste hierarchy as part of their duty of care obligations, and the greatest opportunity for saving money is right at the top of the hierarchy, i.e. waste prevention. Looking at where food waste is generated across catering operations, WRAP's research shows that it largely arises during the food waste preparation phase. This is particularly true for contract catering, casual and fine dining kitchens. Since preparation waste represents the highest share of food waste arising in many kitchens, it is clearly an area that could lead to cost savings. It is also most likely to benefit from closer monitoring and strong staff engagement to uncover actions that can be taken to prevent food waste. As I have already highlighted, the cost-saving opportunities are significant. We can see here how much the hospitality and food service sector is currently throwing in the bin. To help businesses tap into these significant opportunities, WRAP launched the Hospitality and Food Service Agreement in June 2012. This is a voluntary agreement that large and small companies can join, and we've already had more than 190 signatories and supporters. Signatories are typically operators in the sector and include significant names such as Pizza Hut, Green King, McDonald's Restaurants, Break, Sodexo and Compass. Supporters could be trade associations such as the British Hospitality Association and the Chartered Institute of Waste Management, or waste collection businesses such as CETA or BIFA. Together, the signatories and supporters represent nearly a quarter of the sector by turnover. The Hospitality and Food Service Agreement is funded and supported by all 4 UK governments. Under the agreement, WRAP has set up working groups to help feed into its development. These groups comprise signatories and supporters from large and small companies. The initial focus for each signatory was to determine the level of food and packaging waste and where these wastes were arising, and to report this information in confidence to WRAP. Signatories are now getting on with implementing plans to reduce food waste and recycle more. At the same time, WRAP has been developing, supporting advice and guidance tools and engaging with the sector to make changes. The agreement has 2 targets: waste prevention of 5% across the whole sector against a 2012 baseline, and diverting at least 70% of waste from landfill by recycling, composting and sending waste for anaerobic digestion. These are substantial targets that, when achieved, will make a real difference to the sector and to the environment. So how does the agreement work? For larger businesses, i.e. those with over 250 employees, once a business has signed up, it will be requested to set a baseline against which progress can be measured. It will develop an implementation plan to help deliver the targets, review progress against plans on a regular basis, and share examples of good practice with other signatories. RAP works with large companies by developing an implementation plan tailored to their needs. In return, they are required to report back to RAP each year on what actions they've taken and what savings they've achieved. Smaller companies, those with less than 250 employees, can access support through RAP's telephone helpline and online resource centre. They are not expected to report data, although they will be asked to provide feedback on the measures they're taking. All signatories and supporters can access the working groups, which identify what the sector needs to achieve, and targets and supports pilot work to test out new ideas. As I have said, companies that have signed up to the agreement include major players such as Compass, Green King, McDonald's and Unilever, but we want to spread the word to smaller and medium-sized enterprises too. This is where you can really help by talking to your local businesses when you visit them. Local authorities can also sign up to the agreement too. They can make a significant difference, for example in the type of waste collection services provided and the food procured for schools in their areas. So now is the time for organisations to get involved, benefit from the support available and to embed behaviour change in the sector. If we now turn to RAP support for small businesses, RAP provides support by bringing best practice tools and guidance together into one place via the RAP website. SME support is available in Scotland through Resource Efficient Scotland. This support includes the Hospitality and Food Service Info Finder. It holds a wealth of practical and proven advice and supporting guidance. Info Finder allows users to search by business type and to choose the type of information that is relevant to them. So whether a restaurant wants to learn more about cutting waste in the preparation phase or a hotel wants to see what others are doing, this is the place to look. We've also got an online resource centre which depicts a typical commercial kitchen and provides a wealth of information on cutting food waste. The user can hover over a hotspot which highlights some top tips. Both of these tools provide suggestions on quick and easy ways of cutting down on food waste costs. Because they are online, they can be accessed and used at times to suit the business, and they are also free to use. And if a business is thinking about recycling food waste, we've got the Food Waste Recycling Hub with online information, advice and tools, especially for the hospitality and food service sector. The hub helps businesses to find a food waste recycling collector, set up a new recycling system and learn from other organisations who've taken action in this area. The Waste Regulations 2012 for Scotland require that Scottish food businesses present their food waste for separate collections. In Scotland, environmental health officers will be involved in enforcement of these regulations. To find out more, visit www.resourceefficientscotland.com/regulations. I also want to mention briefly some of the resources that are aimed at consumers and which are available through the Love Food, Hate Waste campaign. Perhaps the most useful information from a business point of view is the Love Food, Hate Waste resource pack for hospitality and food service businesses that helps businesses engage with their customers and reduce plate waste. Well, that brings us to the end of this first screencast. I'll recap what we've covered during this session. We've looked at why wasting food matters, the size of the issue and the value of the food that is wasted, where the waste occurs and why prevention is key to making cost savings, some of the RAP resources you can signpost to help businesses make the changes required to realise these savings, and importantly, we've looked at how you can help by promoting food waste prevention and signposting sources of support. This will help businesses make the change and help them become more economically and environmentally sustainable. What next? I invite you to take a look at Screencasts 2, 3 and 4, which go into more detail about the advice and tools you can use to advise local businesses on food waste. Thank you for listening. Please don't hesitate to get in touch by emailing hafs@rap.org.uk if you'd like to find out more. Goodbye for now.